Thank you. Good morning and good afternoon, dear colleagues, teachers, and students. I feel extremely glad to welcome everybody to this much awaited online discussion. Plekhanov Russian University of Economics and University Science Malaysia are the famous educational institutions both in their countries and in the world. And I hope that today's online discussion is the first step to our relationship in the field of scientific research and modern ways of education. I would like to greet personally our main speaker, Dr. Yasha Salamzadeh, Senior Lecturer, Head of Global Strategy and Organizational Behavior Research Cluster, Graduate School of Business, University Science Malaysia, who proposed a timely theme for our roundtable discussion, green entrepreneurship. I'm sure that today's work will be of great benefit to us, as the topic is urgent and relevant. I thank you all for attention and wish you a fruitful work.
Thank you, Elena Valentinovna, and dear speakers. You all have the agenda before you, and we have a slight variation in the schedule. So we first, and once more, Elena Valentinovna is going to speak. Please, attention.
Now let me give the floor to our esteemed leader, Asali Magomedlievich Asaliyev, Vice Rector of Plekhanov Russian University of Economics, Moscow, Doctor of Science, Professor, who wants to say his words of welcome to you. Уважаемый Асали Магомедlievich, пожалуйста, разрешите вам дать слово для приветствия.
Мой микрофон заключен. Мой микрофон заключен.
Асали Магомедlievich, мы вас не слышим.
Добрый день, уважаемые коллеги. Особо хотел бы приветствовать наших зарубежных друзей из Малайзии, Нигерии. Спасибо большое, что сегодня в канун нашего великого праздника Дня Победы, что мы проводим такой значительную и большую конференцию. Для нас завтрашний день, День Победы, это значительный праздник. Я думаю, что коллеги знают про этот праздник. Я говорю про наших зарубежных гостей. Хотел бы всех поздравить, во-первых, с Днем Победы. Во-вторых, для нас сегодня очень важно, что сегодня мы проводим такую конференцию в условиях глобальной пандемии, которая проходит сегодня во всем мире. Я не знаю, как наши зарубежные гости в Малайзии, Нигерии, какова обстановка, но у нас в России мы все сейчас на дистанционной работе, делаем все, что возможно, чтобы вот эта зараза к нам не пристала и выйти из этой ситуации. Конечно, тяжелая ситуация в экономике, в образовании, но я думаю, что мы вместе справляемся и справимся. Говоря о сегодняшней конференции, о зеленой экономике, для нас это важно, потому что вообще, мне кажется, то, что сегодня происходит, наверное, Бог нас, людей, наказывает тем, что мы слишком много зла провели для природы. То, что сегодня загазовано, загажены наши территории и так далее в развитии по промышленности. Мне кажется, как-то всем людям надо задуматься, что происходит вокруг нас. Иногда мы не задумываемся, используя те блага, которые нам природа Всевышний дает, о последствиях того, что происходит. И очень приятно, что сегодня тема нашей конференции именно зеленая экономика, экология, от которого зависит наше здоровье, наше развитие, развитие стран, развитие вообще земного шара. Я желаю коллегам успехов в сегодняшней конференции. Надеюсь, у нас будут хорошие выступления. Надеюсь, что мы сможем предложить, как нам дальше развиваться и как мы можем после выхода из этого карантина или самоизоляции развивать нашу экономику, именно учитывая экологические аспекты развития. Спасибо, успехов вам.
Огромное спасибо вам, Асали Магомед-Алиевич. Thank you very much.
Спасибо.
So, Asali Magomedov first congratulated all the participants of the conference on the 17th anniversary of a great war with fascism. It is a memorable day for us, the 9th of May. Second, he told about the peculiarity of our conference because it is held in the circumstances of global pandemic. And he stressed that a man maybe made a lot of evil to the nature, and now we are here to think about the circumstances of people's activities in the world, and we are here to think about the future development of our business in the form of green business. He wished our conference a success, and and now we are going to continue our discussion. So, so let me return to the schedule of our meeting today. First, we listen to all the reports. We have one main speaker and 5 co-speakers today, and after that, we'll have question and answer session discussing all the reports. All the participants, students, teachers, can also ask questions in chat beforehand. And now, ladies and gentlemen, with great pleasure, I would like to give the floor to our main speaker today, Dr. Yashar Salamanzadeh, senior lecturer, Graduate School of Business, University of Malaysia. Yashar, are you here? Please take the floor.
Okay, thank you. Hello, everyone. First of all, I need to thank Plekhanov Russian University of Economy because of this opportunity to share what we are interested in. And before starting my presentations, I need to introduce myself. I am Yashar. I'm from Graduate School of Business, University Science Malaysia. And only a brief introduction to our university. In year 2019, University Science Malaysia was the most entrepreneurial university in Malaysia. And in year 2020, by the ranking of the Times Higher Education Institute on Sustainable Universities, it ranked #1 in Malaysia and 65 in the world. So our university is really active both in entrepreneurship and also on sustainability and green related initiatives. With this introduction, I will share my slides with you so it's easier for us to follow the slides, and I will do my best to finish the presentation in 25 minutes given to me. So, okay. Now, before starting my presentation, I need to ask all participants, if they have any questions, you can write it down in the Q&A session. We can discuss more about the details of the questions, and we'll have the roundtable. I will get help from the friends there, and we can somehow answer your questions. So with this introduction, I start my discussion for today about green entrepreneurship after pandemic era. I want to start with the main keywords of entrepreneurship. Because when we discuss about green entrepreneurship, we need to be on the same page about the entrepreneurship itself. So these are the main keywords I wanted to share with you about entrepreneurship: recognizing the opportunities, being risk-taking, innovativeness in terms of products, processes, and organizational innovations. Some networking skills are needed, some change management skills are needed. Entrepreneurship is linked with holistic view, strategic thinking, and critical thinking. And I think the role of entrepreneurship in progress of the societies has been well recognized. There is no doubt about this role. And when we discuss about green entrepreneurship after pandemic era, we need to consider all these keywords as one of the guidelines we can use to be more successful in our businesses. Here, I want to share about the green mindset. After the entrepreneurship, we need to learn about green mindset. What do we mean by green mindset? Usually, the main idea of green mindset is related to what we call it triple bottom line: people, planet, profit. It means the social aspects of the organization or business, the environmental aspects, and also the economic aspects of business. So when we say green, it's not only environmentally green. We need to consider the economics as well. We need to consider the society as well. And also, I need to share that we have different spectrums of greens. Some organizations have started some small steps in becoming green. So they are still green, but light green. They are not in a dark green status. And it's different from one organization, one business to the other business about how green they are. In some organizations, being green is among the core values of the business. In some others, it's not like that. It's only about some processes. It's only about some activities, some strategies. And another thing is that when we discuss about green mindset, we think about solving old problems in new ways. So it's not something completely new. If we go through the history of green businesses or green entrepreneurship, we can see that more than 150 years of activities and ideas about green entrepreneurship has been there. But and we have the same issues. Sometimes the nature of the issues change, but we need to find some new ways to face them. And another thing is that green is not only about the product. Sometimes we think that when we discuss about green business, it's something about producing something green or providing some green services to the society, to our customers, to our consumers. But also, if we have some green practices, for example, the easiest one is recycling or paperless activities in organizations, in businesses. There are some practices, then they can be considered as green. Also, green values, green strategies are all among the mindset of green businesses. And also, in green businesses, stakeholders play an important role. So we need to consider all stakeholders. As I told you, when we talk about society, about the environment, we need to know there are many players in the society: media, people, different categories of people in the society. And also, we need to be ethical on green mindset. We need to make decisions ethical. And also, we need to think about continuous innovation. One of the main ideas of green mindset is having this continuous innovation. Now, with this introduction, I want to move to the merge of these two keywords, green and entrepreneurship. In fact, there is no universally accepted definition for green entrepreneurship. And if you read even the academic articles, you can come up with some different keywords about green entrepreneurship: eco-entrepreneurship, ecopreneurship, sustainable entrepreneurship, environmental entrepreneurship, eco-oriented entrepreneurship. And there are different names. There are even some articles mentioning that these names are different from each other. But I think at least in the level we want to discuss, all of them can be used interchangeably. So in our presentation, I'm going to use green entrepreneurship for all these keywords. And the main idea in green entrepreneurship is that this is an interdisciplinary field. We need to consider green entrepreneurship in sociology, in economics, in business and management. And there are different fields of, even on engineering, they work on green entrepreneurship as well. And we need to consider this interdisciplinary nature of green entrepreneurship. And there are some definitions for green entrepreneurship. I have added only one of them, the long definition here, but there are many keywords in this definition. As you can see on the slide now, green entrepreneurship is the activity of continuously addressing the environmental, social, and natural problems or issues through realization of entrepreneurial ideas with high level of risk. And also we need to consider the economic side of green entrepreneurship as well. In early articles about green entrepreneurship, about 3 decades ago, 30 years ago, it was mentioned that green entrepreneurship is taking responsibility to create the world we dream of. Of course, it was a bit poetic, but nowadays we feel that we need this green entrepreneurship in our business mindset. And the question is that how fast we plan to go green. So it's a must for all different businesses, no matter we are in, for example, education business, we are universities, or we are in some other types of business in different industries, in service, in manufacturing. We all need to know that going green is not an option for us anymore. Only we need to choose how fast we want to be there. And with this introduction on green entrepreneurship, I need to share that in many different frameworks we have about green entrepreneurship, it is linked to sustainable development, how we meet the needs of sustainable development in our societies. And I think you can be familiar to 17 sustainable development goals. There are different aspects, environmental aspects, the social aspects, and also the financial aspects. Also some details about these 3 dimensions are mentioned in 17 sustainable development goals. And usually when you plan to have some green entrepreneurship activity, you need to consider at least 1 or 2 or 3 or some of these 17 sustainable development goals. And also I need to re-emphasize that in green entrepreneurship, networking with all stakeholders is really important. It guarantees our long-term success. And also, green entrepreneurship wants to improve, wants to progress everyone which is connected to it. So, for example, a green entrepreneurial university works on the students, on other stakeholders, on society, to have some impact on them, to improve the quality of them, quality of life for them, quality of organizational life for them. And having impact is really crucial in green entrepreneurship. Nowadays, after this pandemic era, many businesses have started to evaluate their impact on the society. What is our economic impact? What is our social impact? What is our environmental impact? And it's really important for us to evaluate our business's impact on these 3 different categories of stakeholders we have. Even universities have started to evaluate this. And many universities have started to prepare some reports on their economic impact. because it's really important in this after pandemic era, or now we are in the pandemic era. And we need to show that for each one, for example, dollar, €1 we spend, what is the impact on the society? What is the impact on our stakeholders? So we need to consider this as one of the keywords in green entrepreneurship. And here I want to share some examples of green entrepreneurial businesses. And I'm sure many of you are familiar with some of these entrepreneurial businesses, green entrepreneurial businesses, of course. And some of them are new. For example, about local healthy food, there is some movements about local healthy food in some societies. Some urban farms, some organic farms, some organic restaurants. These are all examples of green entrepreneurial businesses. About renewable energy, no matter wind energy or the solar energy, some green transportations like bike sharing, car sharing, or some other softwares. Some one of the new trends in green entrepreneurial business is green fashion, and I think especially in your context, in Russian context, as fashion is one of the most recommended businesses in Russia. I think there is opportunities on green fashion industry. Even online retails are examples of green entrepreneurial businesses. Ecotourism, waste management and recycling, eco building, and also e-businesses as a total category, or Industrial Revolution 4.0 related businesses are all green entrepreneurial businesses. Nowadays, many businesses have started to move to this electronic era to become e-businesses, to have some e-businesses, especially according to this pandemic issue we have faced. We have some new online shops, new e-businesses to provide services for the people in the society. And these are all examples of green entrepreneurial businesses. Now, I want to share some closer mindset about green entrepreneurship. As you can see on the slides, when we discuss about green entrepreneurship, we have merged the green mindset and also the entrepreneurial mindset. We need to change our business models. We need to seek for some niche markets to improve our businesses. We need to be flexible and innovative. We need to consider the human side of the organization more than the previous times. We need to work on the awareness and consciousness on our values, on our green values. And also, we need to share our values, our goodwill, our new value proposition with our stakeholders. Also, we need to identify the new needs. So if we want to be successful in this post-pandemic era as a green business, we need to be able to identify these new needs. And we had some challenge in green entrepreneurship when we reviewed the academic literature, when we reviewed the practical outputs, practical reports, national reports, international reports. And there were some challenges. The first challenge was about important journey of awareness to consciousness to mindfulness. And we need to go through this journey. Lack of sensitivity to environment and societal impact was another challenge. Life cycle of green enterprises, innovation performance, and being loyal to our main mission and vision was among the main challenge of green entrepreneurship. Because after going through next levels of life cycle of businesses, they started to pay more attention to, for example, economic side, and they forget about the mission and vision, the green mission and green visions. And also, sometimes we need to know that the concept of sustainability, greenness, is not fully understood by the society, but by many stakeholders, by people, by consumers or customers. And lack of long-term perspective is another challenge. And finally, ignoring the role of stakeholders. I only want to share that all these challenges in this era can be counted as an opportunity. And I will show you how we can consider them as opportunities now. Here, I want to move to this COVID-19 as a crisis for organization. Something I learned here in Malaysia from my Chinese friends is the word of crisis in Chinese language. They call it Wei Zi. As you can see, there are two different parts in the Chinese writing. The first part means threat, Wei. And the second part, which is Zi, is opportunity. So they call crisis as a mixture of threat and opportunity. And it's really good to have this mindset. It's not only a crisis for us. We can find opportunity in all these different steps of the threat and crisis about the pandemic we have faced now. Many businesses have started to have some business continuity planning, recovery systems, resilience systems, and then they plan to road for excellence. And this is the plan in last 2 or 3 weeks. I have attended many meetings with the international MNCs, and many of them have started to plan this continuity planning, recovery system, when they can recover their business, when they can be resilient to same challenge in their organizations. Also, maintaining a rhythm in our businesses is important. And in this pandemic era or after pandemic era, we have faced some new normals, same as what we are doing right now, having online meetings, having online roundtables. And we need new skills to face this new normal in our businesses. And usually we need to list the main skills we need, and we need to consider to improve ourselves according to the skills we need to have. Also, as I mentioned, business impact analysis is really important in this pandemic era. And also we need to plan how we merge the product and infrastructure we have. Many businesses have started to change their product with the same infrastructure. Some of them have changed the infrastructure and produced some new products. And there are different combinations of new and different product and infrastructure. So we can consider any of them to survive our business in this crisis era. And when we want to discuss about after COVID-19 pandemic era, we need to know that there are some windows of opportunities. In entrepreneurship research, this is a keyword. Window of opportunity is sometimes open. When it's open, we can use the opportunity. But when the window is closed, the opportunity is gone. So we cannot use this anymore. We need to wait for the next opportunity to come up in the business era. So we need to pay more attention to the opportunities, to some green jobs. Many green jobs have started to appear in our business environment. Harnessing creativity is really important. Nowadays, many businesses have started to get creative ideas from their stakeholders, from their customers. Many universities have started to get ideas on how we can perform better, and they get this idea from the students, undergraduate students, graduate students, the alumni, the society. And harnessing the creativity is not limited to what we have inside our business, inside our organization. We can consider all our stakeholders. And we need to know that sometimes we think that the policy support is not there. There is no law and regulations to support us to face these issues. But we need to know that publicity and marketing are two important strategies we can use to survive in this era. And also exploring domestic markets is really important. Many businesses have started to move to some domestic markets to become more successful. And of course, I can give more examples for you, but according to the time limitations, I put it on maybe Q&A part. And also, as I shared before, networks are really important. All green businesses need to link to some other green entrepreneurs, research institutes, financial institutes, because they need these networks in order to survive in this era. And I have some final points, and I think we have only 2.5 minutes to go through the end of this part of the meeting. So I only want you to think about these six keywords or points here. The first thing is about the maturity. Many businesses were mentioning that we have issues about maturity. Our employees are not mature, so we cannot move to this new mindset. But nowadays, we can see that many organizations, as the forced by this pandemic, easily have moved to some new levels of the skills and maturity. Same as e-learning or e-education in our universities, we are experiencing. Sometimes we mention that infrastructure is not there, and now we can see we can use infrastructure easily. Awareness, which was one of the main concerns about the green businesses, it was really costly to make awareness in the society. But now we see that according to this pandemic, almost all people around the world know about the importance of being green. So it's really good for us without spending. Yes, please. Okay.
Well,
Когда ты просыпалась?
thank you. Oh.
Ну, тогда как конференция еще не началась, ничего.
Thank you, dear Yashar. Well, I am afraid that now our Zoom conference will be interrupted once more, and we have to reload once more to our session. But I think that I have 1 minute to say with thanks to you, dear Yashar, and your report really helped us delve deeper into the subject and understand all the nuances. Thank you very much. Oh, well.
You're welcome.
Thank you all for your understanding. And now we are ready to proceed to our next presentation, to be given by Mikhail Vyshensky, Associate Professor, Department of Food Technology and Management, Plekhanov Russian University of Economics, Perm branch.
Oh, excuse me. Good day. To develop some of named opportunities and problems in this system, I want to say about system of equality of life in the formation of reasonable consumption. The concept of smart consumption is growing stronger every year around the world. People avoid overconsumption all people avoid overconsumption of all types of raw materials, semi-finished products, packaging and finished products. In order to preserve nature and to do this, they are developing economical, efficient and environment technologies. For these purposes, the most advanced innovation technologies are used. To do this, they secure the copyrights and ethical foundation of new organizations with patients. This is why we need to optimize logistic support and support costs and training prosumer, a reasonable consumer. This is why the goals of a reasonable consummation are formed: education and counter propaganda, motivation, logic and marketing, enchantment and loyalty, optimal green accumulation of any resources, reducing the amount of waste recycling, separate waste collection and close up loop economics, use to renewable resources, products with a long life cycle, and share experience with future generations. The competitiveness of the new idea will stronger the ethical consumption of all types of raw materials and products. Share consumption of common resources also bring people together. People move from consummation to anti-consummation, and the consumer society is changing to a society of value for people. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have representatives from different countries. That will bring us to our next speaker today, Ms. Abinan Vokpoku, of Feminine International Youth Club, Nigeria. I must say that he is a partner of our institute and our good friend who conducts on a regular basis student club meetings at our institute, discussing, among others, ecological problems as well. He will tell us about green entrepreneurship and opportunity of entrepreneurial development in Nigeria.
Thank you very much for this conference. I am very glad that I am a participant of this great conference. So today we are going to speak on the topic an opportunity for entrepreneurial development in Nigeria. As you all know, the environment is very important to human existence, and entrepreneurship, on the other hand, is known to be vital in economic development. In as much as entrepreneurship is of great importance, it is necessary for enterprising individuals and firms to consider the effects and impact of their business operations in the environment. This, lead, this leads to the concept of green entrepreneurship, green economy, sustainability, and eco-friendly products, services, and marketing. The green economy became a UNEP agenda in since United Nations Conference on Sustainable Development held in June 2012. Countries are encouraged to take advantage of the transition to green economy, which offers huge economic opportunities for entrepreneurship. For this purpose, this study looked at the explanatory approach was adopted in this study, which involves the review and analysis of various research works on green economy and entrepreneurship. And the findings indicate that most developed and even some developing countries have worked hard on their compliance to green requirements according to UNEP. Considering Nigeria's compliance, the study recommends that much needs to be done regarding environmental sustainability, green economy, and green entrepreneurship. We have some keywords here: entrepreneurship, green economy, economic growth, entrepreneurial development, green entrepreneurship, and sustainability. Over the years, the development, green entrepreneurship, population growth across the globe increased the production and consumption of goods and services, leading to the depletion of the natural resources and causing several damage to the environment. Some of the serious repercussions of environmental damage include global warming, increased environmental population, and uh, decline in the flora and fauna. Various countries in the world realized the threat to the environmental and began working hard to minimize the harmful effect of business activities on the environment. The realization, concern, and conscious actions towards the environment led to the emergence of sustainable development, which emphasizes the need to promote sustainability. Thank you very much for your attention. I am very grateful.
Thank you, Mr. Clinton, very much. And speaking about green entrepreneurship, is very important to study the practical experience of projects that have already been launched. Our colleague from Kemerovo Institute, branch of Plekhanov Russian University of Economics, Ksenia Demidenko, now would tell us about implementation of the Clean Coal Green Kuzbas regional project. Ksenia, will you please start your report?
Thank you so much. Good morning and good afternoon, dear colleagues. Some of you might know that Kuzbas is one of the 5 regions chosen as basis for world-class research and academic centers in Russia. Kuzbas Research and Academic Center develops best practices in the sphere of rational energy saving and sustainable development on basis of knowledge-intensive technologies of mineral extraction and advanced processing, cutting-edge mechanical engineering, clean energy, coal handling, and storage. It brings together representatives of education, science, and business for project implementation. And the key initiative of this center is science and technology program called Clean Coal, Green Kuzbas. This program includes 11 activity areas, and let me list them and briefly comment upon each. I will enumerate them for your convenience. So number 1 is digital mining enterprise. It focuses on maximum efficient use of calendar time, minimal specific cost of labor and goods, and maximum labor and equipment productivity. Number 2 is digital Obertish basin. Includes maintaining the ecosystem and improving the state of water sources, as well as improving the ecological conditions for the local population. Number 3, clean coal technologies. It refers to developing new technologies of emission reduction. Number 4 is integrated processing of low-grade coal and byproduct coal. It focuses on environmentally friendly emissions, 50% reduction of fertilizer application rate, key performance indicator of heat fuel energy of 93%, and so on. Number 5, robotic mine operating system. Its goals are to introduce robotic systems into production process, to increase an annual volume of engineering products, as well as creating and maintaining approximately 1,000 jobs. Number 6, efficiency upgrade of coal handling. It embraces development of rail steel with special operational properties, development of new knowledge-intensive smelting technologies, etc. Number 7 is social change strategies in resource type region. And as some of you know, Kuzbas is a resource type region. So the objective of the project is to stimulate and plan social changes in resource type regions to provide integrated, sustainable, inclusive development. Number 8, development and production of medical equipment for cardiovascular surgery. It includes production, scaling, and product distribution to the world market, development of tissue-engineered bioresorbable vascular prosthesis, and much more. Number 9, healing-saving biometrical technologies, including protection against chemical carcinogenic environment, reduction of oncological morbidity, and development of new gene engineering methods. Number 10, development of antibiotic-free animal products against antibiotic resistance. Here we can speak of developing a series of multifunctional feed additives for cattle and poultry based on phytobiotics as an alternative to feed antibiotics. Number 11 is laying foundations for personalized medicine, high-tech healthcare, and health-saving technologies. It focuses on development of medical technologies and regional domestic drugs, as well as innovative components for breakthrough scientific research and competitive production in the Russian Federation. I also like to say that scientists from several research institutes and universities of our region, including our branch, of course, participate in this project, as well as some students. For example, students of our branch obtained $10,000 grant from Federal Agency for Youth Affairs, and the aim of their project was developing an environmental culture and improving the Kemerovo environment. In the course of this project, they planted more than 300 trees and took part in city cleaning. So we can say that in their own way, they contributed significantly to the environmental sustainability of Kuzbas. If you want more information, you can visit the site of World Class Research and Academic Center Kuzbas. I'll give this link, I'll put it into the chat. And using the opportunity, I would also like to thank the organizers and participants of the meeting for a chance of sharing our information, ideas, and unfortunately worries too. It's very relevant, useful, and interesting. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Ksenia. Well, thank you. So, and your region has got a very unique experience, as we have already had. Thank you very much. And now, the more positive practical experience, I think that is the better. And now, Larisa Fomichova from Bryansk branch, Plekhanov Russian University of Economics. She is a teacher, and she will tell us about another aspects of green business in another region of our country, in border region. Please, Larisa, take the floor.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me greet you on behalf of Bryansk branch of Russian University of Economics and myself, and say thanks a million for the invitation to such a significant event. I wish all the participants within
Larisa,
this
I'm sorry, but we can't hear you
the
properly.
experience by so.
Larisa, can you stop now? And well, we can't hear you. Larisa, once more, please re-enter the Zoom conference.
I ask all the participants who doesn't speak, please switch off your microphones. I'll repeat once again. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to greet you on behalf of the Bryansk branch of the Russian University
impossible to
of Economics and me,
report. We are very sorry, Larisa, but we can't listen to report. There is very poor sound, and I have to give the floor to our last speaker now. You see that green, the word green is a synonym in many countries, cultures with the word youth. And I would like to give floor to a representative of our younger generation, a student and undergraduate student of PM Institute, branch of Plekhanov Russian University of Economics, Mark Raspopov. Mark, are you ready to deliver your report?
Yes.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My topic today is the key role of business in the formation of a new economy. Let me a moment. Let's start. Business play a key role both in helping society get through an economic crisis and in creating innovation that shape society after a crisis. While it's hard to predict the future, we can develop an understanding of what is ahead by analyzing current trends. So one key question is, how will the ongoing crisis influence future society? Ardeshir Zahedi said the two main functions in solving an environmental disaster lie on the shoulders of green entrepreneurship, which firstly should change the current structure of the economy and stabilize it, and secondly to take on the responsibility of norm maker in the field of entrepreneurship. Look at the recent trends in China offer a glimpse of what is feasible for businesses. For example, online shopping and entertainment received a major boost during the coronavirus shutdown, where online platforms like Alibaba, WeChat, and their associated ecosystems. In the healthcare sector, health-related smartphone apps are proliferating in China and possibly soon globally. The topic of green entrepreneurship has become part of the general discussion in Russia. Russia is a member of the world community and inevitable follow global trends, which is why the UN's Global Sustainable Development Goals are largely applicable to it. The state supports new trends in entrepreneurship development. It provides financial support as well as creates many different conferences and competitions for young professionals who are ready to respond to changes in the world quickly. Without a doubt, there will be newcomers to the market that provide new technologies that fit our new norms, work from home, remote access, new security and health measures, contactless payment and transactions. Now is the time to reorient mindsets and models for the future. Now is the time for sensible financial management, and we study it from Institute of Plekhanov Russian University of Economics. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark, very much. And now I think we'll try to give the floor to Larisa Fomichova once more. Is it possible? Larisa, are you here? So, well, maybe she will join us later. And now we are through with all.
Ladies and gentlemen,
She's here. Please, Larisa.
Do you see me? I ask only to switch on your camera, please. Branch. I ask please try to switch your video off. And what about the sound now? Is it correct?
Larisa, well, it is impossible. Well, we gave you the second chance, but it's a pity we can't hear you. And now I think that it's time to turn on to our question and answer session. Well, we listen to 5 very interesting reports, and all speakers now are ready, I think, to answer questions of our audiences. Please, all the participants, all the listeners, be active. Ask questions. Well, the speakers are waiting for your interest. There is one question in chat from a student of Russia, of PM branch of our university. He writes, I want to ask a question to Dr. Yashar Salamzadeh. He says, on my opinion, we have a bad environment because some people want to earn money, not thinking about environment. You said, Yashar, that we need to think how fast we can become green. So how many years do you think will it takes for whole world to become green?
Okay, thank you. A good question. I need to answer it only by 3 different sentences. The first thing is that we do not expect the whole world to become green so soon. But at the same time, many limitations for businesses, even in order to earn more money, to have some green initiatives. You cannot get access to some new customers without having these green ideas or strategies. For example, in this era, as it was shared by one of our friends about online purchases in China, I think it's almost the same in all cities, no matter it's Europe, Middle East, Russia, America, or Southeast Asia. These online shops has improved their profitability green. So as I told you, the main idea in green businesses is the balance between those 3 keywords: society, environment, and economy. So we don't want them to forget about the economy. They can work more to get more money, but at the same time, they need to consider the environment and the society. I hope I can answer your question.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Yasha. One more question to you personally. This question is from Plotnikova Vera, a professor of Plekhanov Russian University of Economics, Saratov branch. Well, how do you think companies need to show connectivity of information between companies' real financial position and narrative non-financial information about environmental activities?
Okay. In fact, I want to answer this question with 2 examples. The first thing, as I told you, of course, I'm not in the economics field. I'm sure we have experts in economics here. But in economics, we have different tools to do the impact analysis. One of them, for example, is the multiplier effect. Now, we are working as consultants for some international firms. And they have asked us to somehow calculate this multiplier effect for them, to show for how they can have impact on the society for each dollar they spend, how much money they can earn, how much benefit they can pass to the society. And in your question, you have asked about narrative and non-financial information. Usually there are tools to transform this information to each other. So when we can show that there is a trend, for example, in fulfilling the needs of a certain part of the society, people with disability, or any categories of people in the society. When we have spent more money on them, we can somehow quantify this CSR activities or non-financial narrative information about environmental activities. And only we can have this regression, these trends, and after converting these trends to some quantitative data, it's easy for us to use the multiplier effect and go through that in economic aspects and show that there is some economic impact on the society. Of course, if there is better answers from other roundtable members, they can also complete my answer. But this is what I know about how to convert the non-financial or narrative information into some digits, some numbers, some values we can evaluate.
Well, another question for you, Yasha, from a student of Prem Institute, Igor Dichenko. There is a short comment first. He said that coronavirus has had a negative impact on the world's economy. The pandemic will shortly end, but the crisis and its consequences will be long-term. People lose their jobs, and entrepreneurs ruin. In his opinion, green entrepreneurship doesn't look. Perhaps he says perhaps he is wrong. His question: how much do you think it is possible to organize green business projects in the post-pandemic period? And what risks can you face?
Okay. Thank you for the question. It's a really wise question. And when we face wise question, it's also easy to answer these questions. I think, yes, the answer is yes. The opportunity for green entrepreneurial businesses is blooming, in my opinion. And yeah, we can accept that there is some impact on some businesses. But I want to refer you to a news source. I was reading an article last week on Instagram of the Harvard Business Review. You can refer to that, and it's really good. It was mentioned that during this pandemic and after this pandemic, in post-pandemic era, many people will lose their jobs. Unemployment will jump. But this is an opportunity, and we had this history of entrepreneurship. This is the turning point that many entrepreneurs can come up with new ideas, can run new businesses, especially in our case, green businesses, because it's easier for us now. We have the awareness in almost all globe. And it was mentioned that it is a great opportunity for entrepreneurs to use this, and we had the same experience before. So many green entrepreneurial business firms will come up in maybe last 1 or 2 years. And of course, according to the reports I read about the impacts of pandemic on businesses, many different industries, although they have faced critical issues, but many of them can move to recovery stage in 6 months, 1 year, or 2 years. There were some certain industries, it was categorized. Some industries can recover themselves in 6 months before this year ends, some of them after 2021, and some of them at the end of 2021. So I think the recovery will be there, but the entrepreneurial businesses will come up for sure.
Well, dear participants, we have only 8 minutes left of our session, and we have a lot of questions. But I'm sorry that we have to choose the last question to Yishal from Yerevan. The question is the following. The speaker would like to know about the degree of involvement of modern IT technologies in green entrepreneurship projects that are being implemented at your Yeshal University.
Okay. Of course, in general, first, all green businesses, no matter the sector of the business, it can be public, private, or the NGOs even. All businesses, I categorize all different sectors. When we call them green, they need to work with a kind of technology. As it was mentioned by one of the speakers of today, Ksenia Demidenko, about the technologies they have used, about the high tech. And I also have mentioned in my presentation about IR 4.0. Many green businesses have started to use IR 4.0 tools, the big data analysis, the AI, for example, robotics. And it's really common for green businesses to move to this side. One of the most well-known green businesses is, for example, Tesla car. Tesla car is one of the biggest green businesses around the world. And as you know, it's the new technology is the core of this business. And many, even small green businesses, same as the green farms or organic farms, they also have started to use some kind of businesses, some kind of technology, sorry. And technology plays the most important role in evolving the green businesses, especially in next 1 year or 2 years.
Thank you very much. And the very last question to you, Yashar from Bryansk. Well, have you your own experience in eco-entrepreneurship?
Okay. In fact, we have different experiences. And of course, the main part is that I am an academician. So I work in university. But as our university has the sustainability in the slogan of the university, towards sustainable tomorrow. And also we have a huge number of sustainability related activities. And I have not owned a green business. I don't have a business for myself, but I have worked as consultant in many different sectors, in different businesses, and some of them were green businesses. Also, in our DBA classes, Doctorate of Business Administration, I am in charge of a subject named consultancy and training. It's a 1-year subject for our DBA students, and they spend 1 year in businesses as consultants, and we need to guide them to do some consultancy and training for them. And many of them are working on CSR, on eco-entrepreneurship, and we had the experience on working with these green businesses or businesses with some green activities, green strategies, or green initiatives.
Thank you very much for your full answers. And now I would like to ask you, Yashar, to make a summary of our discussion and some learning outputs after listening to all the talks and to questions. Well, please.
Okay, thank you. Of course, I see that we have only 4 minutes. I will use 3 minutes. I wrote down some comments here, the learning outputs of this talk. The first thing is that after this pandemic era, all our green businesses need to consider new strategies, new opportunities, and new ways of thinking. So this is one of the musts and one of the main takeaways of us. The second thing is about the ethical foundation. One of our speakers shared about ethical foundations in logistics, in supply chains, but in reasonable consumption. And this ethical foundation is really critical for us. If we plan for some green businesses for this coming 1 or 2 years, it's really critical for us to think about the ethical foundations of our business from the beginning to the end, from our suppliers, our processes, our strategies, to our marketing and consumers. The third outcome is about the technologies. Of course, it was one of the questions. We need to consider technologies, the high-tech, new technologies, IR 4.0 related technologies, and it's inevitable for us. We cannot go far from the technology and be a successful green business in close future. The next output is about the change. We need to be ready for change in our business model, in our thinking approach, thinking way, and also the way we act. So we need to be ready for this change, and we need to be open for change. And there is good things in change. I'm sure we will experience good things after this change. And 2 final outputs. The first, the one before the last one, is the impact analysis. Impact analysis is really important. no matter it's financial, non-financial, we need to show that we have some kind of impact on our society, environment, and economic side as well. And finally, I want to say that as we had speakers from Russia, from Nigeria, and Southeast Asia, and also I had joint meetings with friends in Middle East, in Europe, in West Europe, East Europe, and I can say that the overall vibe is almost the same all around the world, no matter it's developing country, developed country, or which continent are we staying in. We all are facing a new mindset, and we can use this shared mindset as an opportunity for us to improve our businesses. I think this was the last learning outcome of our today discussion. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. And final words of our director, Elena Гордеева.
Dear friends, sorry. Dear friends, I will we have done a good job. Today's roundtable discussion is successful. I would like to thank our main speaker, Yashar Salamzadeh, for sharing your ideas and for a deep analysis of our theme. And I would like to thank Vice Rector of Plekhanov University, Professor Asalim Magomedalievich, for your support and cooperation, and all the participants for your interesting questions. Tomorrow will be the celebration of the 75th anniversary of victory in the Great War against fascism. I congratulate you on this great holiday. I wish you good luck, good day. Goodbye, dear friends. Thank you very much.
And well, now our session is over. Well, hope meet soon.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.